Slipping on your beat, that shit there could be bad for you. Nigga catch you slipping, that shit could get mad up. Creatures on the creep lurking, call it the last supper. 100 on the Mac 9, they call that bitch Mag Muffin. Slum 1200 GGI mob shit, and I'm back. So we gonna be talking about young greatness, man. Out the 7 more. Long live young greatness. Mr. Moolah. So young greatness will be deleted a few years ago, 2018, and will be alleged that he will be going to meet some guys to make a transaction with some peas at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, which I felt was real sketchy to me. You feel me? Being from the streets and, you know what I'm saying, really being out here active and hustling and things like that, I just felt like if anybody call you trying to spend money, and this could be something that somebody out there might learn from, you feel me? But if somebody call you at 1, 2 o'clock at night talking about they won't spend, it really don't even matter what they saying they won't spend. At 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, it gotta be a jack move, period. You feel what I'm saying? If anybody call me after hours, I know one thing, I know what it is. You feel me? Because I'm not about to get out of my bed or leave out my house for nobody after hours, period. That's a no-no in the game. Anybody that's trapping, know better. You feel what I'm saying? Like, ain't nowhere in the world you about to call me and tell me you want to score 3 P's, 4 P's at 1:30, 2 o'clock at night. Come on, man, be for real, man. Long live young greatness again, though, but he will wind up being deleted by the Waffle House.
The victim is 35-year-old Theodore Jones, also known as Young Greatness. WDSG's Heath Allen just spoke with the family and joins us now live with the latest information on this unfolding story. Heath.
Hey, Charles, Randy, I just got off the phone with Janine Rose, who now lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and obviously she's devastated at this point over the loss of her son. Family members, including Miss Rose, identify the victim as 35-year-old Theodore Jones, known as Young Greatness. Here's what we know right now. Police say gunfire broke out outside this Waffle House in the 2900 block of Elysian Fields just after 1:30 this morning. Shell casings were found in the parking lot, the victim found near the curb. Jones's mother, Miss Rose, now living in Atlanta, tells me he was actually FaceTiming with his manager when the shooting occurred. What led to the murder, not known at this time. Rose says Jones was actually in New Orleans for a funeral and was supposed to have been back in Atlanta yesterday. Rose says her son graduated from Kennedy High back in 2002, never violent, didn't carry a gun, and she's upset over the continuing violence in New Orleans. She says the night doesn't have any eyes. She says nothing good happens at night.
I can't stand that place. They can have it with their politics and potholes. It's too many mothers taking slow walks to sad tunes while they sit at home and play politics with people's life and people living. They can have it down there.
Again, New Orleans police investigating an overnight murder in the parking lot of this Waffle House on Elysian Fields. The victim identified by family members as 35-year-old Theodore Jones, a rapper known as Young Greatness. We'll have more on this continuing story as it develops.
3 men indicted on murder charges in the death of rapper Young Greatness. 2 men in a juvenile face murder and armed robbery and other charges in connection to an October shooting death of Young Greatness. New Orleans police said the rapper, whose real name is Theodore Jones, was killed in a parking lot outside of a Waffle House on Elysian Fields Avenue. Donald Roach, 38, who police previously arrested in a case on accessory to murder charge, Donald Maxwell, 18, and Lovace Wicks, 16, were each indicted Wednesday, March 27, on charges of second-degree murder, armed robbery, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, obstructing of justice, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. The Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office said in a news release, a special grand jury also indicted Rose on the charge of illegal possession of a firearm by felon. The rapper, who was shot dead at age 34, was best known for his 2015 song Moolah, which made it to the Billboard Hot 100. Jones was born in New Orleans but moved to Houston after Hurricane Katrina, according to media reports. He often mentioned the influence of his hometown on his songs. The video for Moolah was set in New Orleans. Jones has been described in various media outlets as still rising star and hard-working talent who used grit and slow-burning success of Moolah to make his way onto the hip-hop rap scene. The rapper is survived by two children, who were 6 and 16 at the time of Jones' death, said his aunt, Joanne Gordon. His aunt, Joy Davis, said her nephew's connections to the Seventh Ward were very important to him. He recognized the responsibility of being looked up to by his community, she said, and wanted to make sure he represented himself and his family well. NOPD had not previously identified the motive in the fatal shooting, but said the day after it occurred that Nissan Sentra stolen from the scene had been recovered. It's unclear if the robbery charges included in the indictment pertained to the stolen car or only the car. The Waffle House in that location had at least 3 surveillance cameras outside the building. Brooks was the only one of the 3 the grand jury indicted who NOPD had previously named as being wanted in the case. The department first public released Brooks' name on December 11th, then calling him a person of interest, whom detectives wanted to question about Jones' killing on January 15th. NOPD said in a news release a warrant had been obtained for Brooks on charges of obstructing justice, conspiracy to commit obstructing of justice, and accessory to second-degree murder. He was arrested the next day and booked on those charges. Roque was not in custody on those charges as of Thursday, when an NOPD homicide and SWAT team from the St. John Parish Sheriff's Office arrested him in that parish to book him with new charges. Online court records do not make clear when Roque was released from jail on the obstruction-related and accessory murder charges. Maxwell was arrested Wednesday by NOPD homicide detectives. The NOPD Violent Offender Warrant Squad in the United States Marshal Service, who apprehended him in the 3600 block of Garden Oaks Drive in Algiers. That's right there by Jackson Landing. NOPD said in a news release Thursday, online court records show Maxwell had previously been arrested October 9th, a little less than 3 weeks before Jones' homicide, on several charges that were later dismissed by the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office. The dismissed charges, which the DA's office refused on March 11, included several counts of simple criminal damage to property, simple burglary, illegal possession of a stolen automobile, and authorized use of a motor vehicle. Wicks had already been in custody at a youth study center on unrelated charges, a news release from the DA's office said.
District Attorney Jason Williams has secured a murder conviction connected to the 2018 killing of the New Orleans rapper known as Young Greatness. His given name is Theodore Jones, and he was killed outside the Waffle House on Elysian Fields. A jury convicted one man last night, but he is not the only suspect. Alyssa Curtis has more on the conviction and a powerful message from the rapper's grieving mother.
You don't even realize what you did. You don't have a clue on what you did. You took somebody that would have gave you his shoes off his feet because he wasn't selfish. You didn't have that to do to a kind, loving soul.
Janine Rose is grieving 3 years after her son, New Orleans rapper Young Greatness, was killed. The musician, whose given name is Theodore Jones, was shot outside the Waffle House on Elysian Fields in 2018. But now Rose finally has some answers. Thursday night, a jury unanimously convicted Donald Rowe for the murder. Rowe will receive a mandatory life sentence, but he's not the only one serving time in connection to the killing.
This case is emblematic of the crisis that is plaguing the streets of New Orleans, specifically adults using this city's children to commit crimes for them.
Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams says Rowe didn't pull the trigger. Instead, he enlisted a 15 and a 19-year-old to shoot Jones. DA Williams and Chief Woodfork say 2023 will be very different than 2022. They say they're using new strategies to hopefully calm down the crime surge that we've been seeing.
She has doubled down, really tripled down on report writing. making sure that information is documented with real specificity, as John Lewis used to say. Specificity matters because that is what the judges are going to be reading when they're setting bond. That is what the jury is going to be hearing when a case goes to trial.
But many are hoping it doesn't get to that point. Knowing the pain firsthand, Rose has a powerful message.
Get your children. Get your babies. Because that slow walk to that sad tune I had to take is not a walk y'all want to take. Get your children, y'all. Grab a hold of your children. Because all I have is memories and a tune. You don't want that.
Hoping no one has to experience what she has.
The song considered Jones a close friend and mentor. He said Jones was in New Orleans the weekend he was killed to attend a funeral of Juwan's 81-year-old grandmother, Arlene Nelson. New Orleans rap artist and record store owner Seth 45 told NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune, in October he saw Jones just hours before the rapper was killed at a New Orleans Saints watch party at Pelican Bay Restaurant, about 12 blocks up Elysian Field from the parking lot where Jones' body was found about 1:35 a.m. in the morning that Monday. There was no conflict, he said. Jones and friends just enjoyed the game. The next morning, Seth 45 said he got a text saying that Jones had been killed, according to an interview in New York-based music magazine, The Fader. Jones said he began rapping just before Hurricane Katrina hit, having left college due to his father's death and his mother battled with cancer. The Fader and Rolling Stone both reported Jones moved to Houston after Hurricane Katrina. When I went to Houston, it made me want to go harder because I didn't have anything after leaving everything behind. And I was at rock bottom, he said in the March 2016 interview. So that's where my hustle and passion came from. And that's where I made my decision that this is what I was going to do with my life. Each defendant faces a mandatory life sentence in prison if convicted on the murder charge. Though Wicks as a juvenile will be eligible for a hearing, determine parole eligibility after 25 years. So even a little dude, the juvenile, would have to stay in jail 25 years before he could even be eligible for parole. That's crazy. Suspect in killing of rapper Young Greatness must be treated for bipolar disorder, paranoia, judge says.
Well, also new at noon, Donald Rowe has been convicted of second-degree murder for the death of New Orleans rapper Theodore Young Greatness Jones. Although he didn't shoot Jones, DA Jason Williams says Rowe recruited two of his younger cousins to commit the killing. Williams describes Rowe as, quote, the ringleader, unquote, and says the two younger suspects are already serving significant jail time. Jones was shot and killed in a New Orleans Waffle House parking lot back in 2018.
Shout out to that 7-Wall, man. Long live Young Greatness. Y'all get in that comment section, hit that like button, Make sure them notifications turned on, hit that subscribe button, and stay plugged. Slum 1200 GGI Mob shit.
Put a loaf of bread on your head like I was baby now. Niggas say they pull up and spray, wasn't no saving now. Shit, I'm out here trapping, no capping, trying to feed my baby now. Yeah, I keep the 50, you dig your grave, I'ma lay you in. I ain't with the back and forth beefing all on the internet. I'ma catch you lacking in traffic, nigga, and leave you there. Shit, I know some niggas will cut you, split you from ear to ear. Cut to the gristle, my nigga, rest in peace.